Support the Girls, which is a film which came out in America last year. And you remember when I was talking about the fact that Barack Obama had done his list of the films that he had liked, and the list included some really interesting choices. Which Eighth Grade was one of them, which was, was a terrific movie. And also Annihilation, which was particularly interesting because here, I think, was Annihilation the first cream of the streams that we did? Because it was a movie that was theatrically released in America, and then over here it didn't. So the reason I went off mic was I was turning to look at the top production team.
Yes, who were just... And they are confirming that is indeed
literally listening
correct.
To Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, and, it's all request Friday at the moment. And so one of the films on his list of favourite films of last year is Support the Girls. And again, I would invite everybody to just imagine a world in which the President of the United States was able to draw up a list of films that were his favourites of the year that included, diverse, interesting, smart choices that demonstrate that you are a sentient and empathetic human being. Anyway, so well done.
Yes, interesting.
So it's an independent movie. It's written and directed by Andrew Bujalski or Bujalski with a J. I think let's say Bujalski, but as we all know, my pronunciations are terrible. It is a refreshingly honest, I hate this word, dramedy. It's a drama with comedic elements, and I don't think I'll ever get my head round saying dramedy. So it is a drama.
You don't have to use it.
No, I'm not going to in that case. A comic drama or a drama with comedic elements about women juggling complex home lives with working in double whammies, which is described as a sports bar with curves. So it's a bar in which the drinks and the food are served by relatively scantily clothed women. But the whole point is this is a family establishment. And although it's got, that side to it, it is being run by somebody who absolutely believes that what we're doing is serving the mainstream. And so it's seeing a different side of what you would expect that thing to be. It's the kind of establishment which if it turned up in a film like Porky's or, one of those, American frat teenage movies would be the kind of place where just everybody pours beer over their heads and behaves disgusting. But this is actually like, what would it be like to work in one of those bars? Here's a sequence in which Regina Hall, who is the person who is in charge of, she doesn't own it, but she's in charge of the establishment, is attempting to explain what life is like there to some new recruits.
Do you get, grabbed?
It happens. Yeah, like when someone's super wasted or whatever, but it's pretty rare, and you can usually tell when something like that's coming, and just kind of like...
Let me just say this. We have a zero tolerance policy on it. I don't mind calling the cops if customers commit the crime of sexual assault. And trust me, I don't have to call far because you know what? We have a lot of officers who are regulars.
And Officer Dominguez is a cutie, I think.
But seriously, y'all, let me just say, the most important thing is that this is a mainstream place, and it's a family place, which means a lot of families come here. And it also means that we're all family. And yeah, you're not wearing a whole lot of clothes, but trust me, if these guys wanted to go to a strip club, they know where to find them. They just come here so some sweet girls can take good care of them. It's like working at Chili's or Applebee's, except it's more fun and the tips are way better.
Usually.
If you know how to work it.
So the other voice you heard there is Hayley Lou Richardson, who I think is really terrific. And essentially, structurally, it's sort of not dissimilar to a film, although it's very different in tone, to a film like Car Wash or a film like Clerks, in which the whole thing is, there's the workplace where everybody comes, you come in the beginning of the morning, the stuff plays out, and we see everybody's different lives interact. You remember when Car Wash came out in the cinema? The thing that everyone remembers about Car Wash is the disco soundtrack. And in fact, there is a car washing sequence in Support the Girls, although, as I said, it is a very, very different film. But it's a film about a work environment which is a difficult work environment, but everybody's got their own things that are going on. There's one of their friends, colleagues, has got into trouble with an altercation with a boyfriend who's an obnoxious so-and-so. At the beginning, they find that somebody has attempted to break into the establishment. And during the course of the day, different customers come in and either behave well or don't behave well and our cast, our key characters have to deal with them, and whilst they're dealing with them, we get to learn about their lives. And I really liked it for a number of reasons. The first one is it is funny. There are really sort of good, smart, laugh out loud moments in it. But much more importantly than that, it's both sympathetic and empathetic. It does that thing that all really good drama does, which is it puts you in the position of a character that you may not, ever. I mean, certainly from my point of view, I would never be in the position of any of the characters, being wrong gender, and I live in the wrong country. But you absolutely feel, oh, I'm seeing the world through their eyes, and I understand that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it's one of those things that demonstrates that true comedy, true proper comedy, is not cruel. Really, really sharp comedy is to do with empathy and sympathy and engagement. And I do think that sometimes we kind of forget. I mean, as I said, it is a drama with a comedic side to it, but sometimes we forget, because we get so used to the idea that comedy has to be, gross out or abrasive or whatever, that there is such a thing as, that empathetic warmth that you get from a really well-observed human comedy. And if you look back at things like, both Ken Loach and Mike Leigh are filmmakers who employ comedy and do so rather brilliantly, but you don't think of them as being... I mean, Ken Loach, Mike Leigh once said, all I want to do is make people laugh. I'm a clown. That's what I want to do. But you think of his films as being that kind of social realist thing. And this has a similar thing. The guy who made it made Computer Chess, which was a film that I really, really loved. And as I said, it's that basically simple structure, the workplace in which disparate people are coming in. All of them have got their own lives. All of them have got their own situations. There is a real feeling of, they keep talking about, as you heard in that clip, it's like a family. We all look after each other like a family. But it's also a workplace. It's a place in which it's possible for people to be mistreated or to be exploited. And I felt like, although it's a fairly short movie, it's not overly long, and it's done on a very sort of stripped down. It's not special effects and car crashes and all the rest of it. There are scenes in which they leave the central workplace, but it was so unexpected. It was so. I mean, the only thing expected about it was I knew that it had turned up on Obama's list, so I kind of knew, okay, well, it's going to have some validity because his choices of movies are really good. But I loved it. I thought it was really, really terrific, and it's called Support the Girls. And you might have to seek it out at your local art house cinema. It's not going to be playing everywhere, but it's really sharp and really funny and really great performances and characters that, that thing about when you see a movie and it's got characters that you absolutely believe in, you feel like you've known them forever. And, that's what cinema can do. That I'm sure theatre does it well, but that's what this did for me. And it's called Support the Girls, and I think everybody should go and see it because I thought it was fab.